There we go. But how do I make it small? All right, guys. So if you guys haven't joined me before, you haven't talked to me before, my name is Sade Howard. I am your favorite travel tech girly. I am also one of the CEOs here at Compass Travel Tech, and I'm excited about making you all's lives a lot easier through automations and marketing. Let me just kind of adjust this camera setting. If you are in the chat and you're watching today, please let me know by saying, hey, we are doing both StreamYard and on Facebook. So if you're on Facebook, I'll be watching over there as well. So if you see me doing this, it's because I am looking at both screens so that way I can make sure that I can see what people are asking. But give me a second. I need to do screen share. All right. Hey, Gina, how are you? Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm gonna do window so that way you guys can see my tabs as we go along. Tonight's topic is going to be about calendars and Zooms. I'm going to give a couple of more minutes just for people to kind of jump in here with us and kind of get caught up before I share a couple of resources. Or maybe I'll start with the resources just so that you guys know. If you are in this group, the Compass Travel Tech exclusive community, it's because you are a part of the Compass Travel Tech community. And if you have recently signed up with us, you should have received an email inviting you to check out our new member checklist. This is a checklist of things that I felt were most important to getting you up and running in your account as you are getting ready to join us in our live onboarding group sessions starting next week on the 11th. You'll see here that I have quite a few different topics where I have taken the time to create micro videos to help you along the way and get you started. In addition to this being a resource of help, I do go over this again in the first video, support resources. We do have a 24/7 live chat support within our platform, and you are able to access it using the purple little circle down at um, the bottom right. Hey, Deb, how are you? Thanks for joining us tonight. Tonight, we're going to talk about calendars and adding Zoom and getting all things connected. So, first things first, what can we do with our calendars or how should we connect them? If you are using something like G Suite or just Gmail, or you are using Outlook, those two calendars integrate the easiest, or I should say the quickest, because it's just like a one click kind of thing. But if you are using something like Zoho Mail, like me, or you are using Microsoft 360, you will need to get your SMTP from your email provider. Uh, oh, sorry, someone's saying they're trying to join the live. In the Facebook group. All right, I just want to make sure that we're all here. Um, I think maybe someone is asking to join me on StreamYard, which is I'm sorry guys, I don't use StreamYard very much. So I'm still figuring out the buttons for StreamYard. Because I like to just go live. But Angela, we are waiting for you in the Facebook group for Compass Travel Tech if you'd like to join us there. And I'm excited to hear any questions that you guys may have. So before we get started, Deb and Gina, I know that you guys are here. Do you have any questions in particular to getting started or getting your calendars connected? If so, think about those questions. Hey, Angela, you made it. Great. Okay. Great, great. All good. Thanks, Gina. Just making sure. Okay. Everybody's here and we're on the roll. Let's talk about it. So, SMTP, I know I always slow down for that, and it's because I get tongue twisted. I'm human. Um, this is basically your C name and your A records that you would get from your domain in order to port in that information over. But first things first is connecting. There are a few ways that you can connect your calendar. My favorite way to do this is from your settings. And in your settings, we have both a business profile and you have a my profile. Now, your business profile, let's say that this is your master account access. Whatever, if you are an official LLC with an EIN number, whatever you have on that EIN formation paperwork, that is the legal name that you're going to want to put here into your business profile. If you have, say, an alias email, meaning like an info at mydreamtravels.com, you would put that here. And then for me, I would use, Sade at mydreamtravels.com in my profile area. As you're scrolling down in this area, it will give you other options to set up. My advice is that you take a look and make sure that you are not allowing duplicate opportunities so you don't get duplicate records. Keep that in mind as you're connecting your calendar. So finish up the business profile and then we'll head on over to my profile tab. In the My Profile tab, this is where you get started. So do not use your info, connect with us, no reply email for your business in this section. This is the actual email. When you send out a message, this is the actual email address that will be facing your clients. So this is where that will go. And as you scroll down, as you notice, hey, nice to see you. I use two emails, one for suppliers and one for clients. Which should I use? I would say use the one that you have for your clients in your system. And I'll show you a little bit later where you can put that one for your suppliers. So as you scroll down here a little bit, you'll see user availability. Any calendar, because you can have multiple types of calendar, any calendar will reference whatever you put here as your first look, meaning first they're going to look at your availability that you listed here, and then they're going to look at the availability that you actually put with inside of your calendar settings. Here, where it says calendar, as you grow and you create multiple calendars, you'll be able to select which one you want to be your master calendar. So for me, I like to use the discovery call. That's just what I named my calendar as my master calendar. So master, anything on the discovery call comes first. If a new appointment request comes in and it goes against whatever I have in that discovery call, it will push it out and say, hey, that time is not available, because that's my master calendar. Oh, let's see here. Making sure someone said that the live ended. It should not have ended. Let me just double check. Okay, let's check here. Oh, no. We're still rolling. Okay. Okay, yep. We're still going. Okay, yep. I'm sorry, Angela. It says live video ended, but I still see us there. So I'm gonna take it that we're still rolling. Okay. As we scroll down and you see your availability, you're going to see two handy options that I like to say, make sure you take a look at this. You can start by saying, hey, my office hours are from 9 to 5, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Let's say that's the standard, right? And then if that's what you want to do Monday through Friday, just hit copy all. And now all the other dates are also going to have 9 to 5. But maybe you have your day job, like many of us do, and you're not available at 9 to 5. Maybe On Mondays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, you are available, let's say from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. You can, or let's say you are available in the morning. Let me go back. I'm going to say you are available from 9 a.m. Okay, to 11 a.m. And then you don't have another set of time on Monday until, let's say, 5 because you're getting off of work p.m. to 8 p.m. You can split up the hours that you have in a particular day. So if you need that flexibility, this would be a good place um, to adjust that as well. As you scroll down, you're going to see the integrations for Zoom and Outlook. When you click here to your actions to connect, it's going to take you basically to log in. I'm already logged in another system, so it just automatically accepts me. But when you click it, it's going to basically take you to the Zoom screen and say, hey, do you want to give access? You say yes, and it will connect you. If you're scrolling down some more, we have our Google and Gmail and Outlook calendars on a two-way sync. This means that the calendars will cross each other. So if you have a personal calendar, maybe for your family bookings or appointments and things like that, if you have some time on your Gmail calendar or Outlook calendar that conflicts with a new potential appointment here in the system, it will check that first and then say, okay, she's not available. So we will connect in here. So I would choose my accounts, say, yes, I'm giving some permissions, continue, and then it will get that connected in there for us. So we are all set. So then we'll be connected. Now, I know someone was asking about the supplier so sending emails or having 2 emails for suppliers. Some of you guys on our individual demos, you had asked about like, hey, what if I want a BCC or have a BCC so that the supplier invoices or the booking record is emailed to me? You can always come down here to auto BCC and use this email address so that anytime someone is or a vendor is getting ready to email you in the conversation, you'll have a record of that email from the supplier. It will create like a contact record for the supplier inside of your system, and it will live there. So all of the communications, all of the PDF documents, and all that good stuff will auto populate into that to that vendor's record. Okay, let me check over here. Okay, no, okay, no, that was just Eugenia. Okay. All right. So the next place that we're going to look is we're going to actually go into our calendar settings because we're still inside the settings menu in our system. This is where things get more robust in that you can definitely, like I said earlier, have multiple types of calendars. If you have a booking calendar, if you are an agency and you have, say, a calendar just for your agents to book some time with you, create an extra calendar. If you want to do a calendar for webinars with different suppliers that are coming into your agency to speak, create a webinar based calendar here as well. What you would do is you would go to create calendar. Sorry, I think my button's a little hidden. Why would it? Okay. I'm going to just use one of these. So when you create your calendar, it's going to ask, do you want a individual calendar, an event style like a webinar, or do you want a round robin? I would use a round robin calendar if you are on the agency level and you have multiple ICs that are taking, say, discovery calls and you just want to give everyone a chance. You can definitely do that. I'm going to go into my test calendar here and we're going to look at these settings. So once you have now created a new calendar, it's going to ask you about the details of that calendar. Every calendar can have a logo. So if you just want it to be your business logo versus your business logo versus an actual icon, showing differences between the calendars, you would just drag and drop or click upload and bring in that photo for your calendar. Of course, give your calendar some type of description and name. And here, where it says custom URL, I think that everyone should use this. And I say that because it's something that's unique to your business. So if you want to be my booking widget at Dream Travel Services, definitely put that here. But for every word, you will need like the little hyphen in between. The URLs are just how they work. Now, the meeting invite title. I like to use our short keys, and you'll see these around the system where it'll be bracket, bracket, and then whatever the short key is. This particular short key is to bring in the first name and last name of the actual client. So if I want to say Sade Howard or whoever I'm sending this confirmation of a calendar to, it will auto populate their name. And then if I said confirm appointment, it will live here. I'm sorry. Appointment, and it will live here. So it will auto populate their name. So leave that and then select the team members that have access to this calendar. Again, if you are on the agency level and you're sharing, say, a calendar with your ICs or another manager or maybe your virtual assistant, you can add them into the calendar so that multiple people can see it. Here, you will also determine the priority of this particular calendar. But just keep in mind that whatever the priority that you set in your actual profile, that is the number one priority. And then these calendars will come second. So you can make it medium, high, or low, or customize it. And then your meeting location. Technically, when you connect your Zoom link, your Zoom will auto-populate by default as your meeting location. But if you have a personalized meeting room through Zoom or another application that has like a unique URL or something to that effect, you can grab it and paste it here. Or if it's a phone call versus a webinar, put in your number here as well for your meeting location. Okay, let me check. Hey, Sunday. I see we're all here. Great. Does anyone have any questions about this particular screen before we move on to availability again from a different view? Okay. Think we are still good here. All right. So moving on, we're going to click save and move on to the availability with inside the settings area. This will mirror what you originally put inside of your personal profile, but because this is a separate calendar, you'll have to say, hey, I'm only doing discovery calls on Tuesdays and Thursdays. If that's the case, deselect the days that you're not going to want to do those particular types of meetings and adjust your time. Give it a length, meaning how long can this meeting be booked for? If you want to do a whole hour, put that on in here. If you want to switch it to hours, I don't know why we would need meetings over an hour in our business, but hey, if that's your thing, let's do it. Your meeting duration could also match, and then how many days of notice is required for this type of meeting. So if I put, say, 2 right here, that means in order for you to book this type of appointment with me, you have to book it 2 days in advance. When I look at the date range, this means how far in advance into my calendar can my clients potentially see? What we're looking at is if I put 7 days, that means when my client comes to look at this calendar, they have to give me a 2-day notice before they can book this style appointment, and they can only see my availability for the next 7 days after the 2-day heads up, in so many words. Don't forget to put your maximum and your minimum bookings per day and per slot. I say always keep the maximum bookings per slot at 1 because you don't want to double book your appointments, obviously. And then if you know that you can only handle, say, 3 of these per day, then put a maximum amount of appointments for this as 3. Your buffer time is just that, it's a buffer. How much time in between each appointment do you need, a free time before you start the next live? Let me see. Yes, Gina, you are able to rewatch. I'm sorry. You said yes, and I schedule meetings manually in my calendars. Okay. So, Gina, I'm going to show you that way as well. Right now, in terms of calendars, I'm showing you how to create a calendar that you can use and set it to automation. Meaning, when someone arrives at your booking page or you send out your link for a meeting, that they can select the time and the date that's best for them within the parameters that you give them, meaning you don't have to necessarily be present in order for them to make this appointment because you've already set up the parameters in the background. So we are going to go over this way, meaning the automated way first, and then I'm going to also show. Okay, great. So I hope we're not lost anymore. So let me know. I'm looking at the chat just to double check. But if I need to slow down, look, put up a fire. I will slow it down and revisit for you. This type of chat on Tuesdays is for you guys. It's for the understanding. And while I'm doing that, I just want to backtrack. I'm going to take this link here for our new members and I'm going to put it inside of the chat so that those who need to follow with us, you can always go back and take a look at these pre-recordings because this is a checklist to kind of get you started, like we said before, but at least you guys will have that. All right, so now that I'm going to put my buffer time, I'm going to say 30 minutes here, and I'm going to save and move on. The forms and payments. In your forms and payments, you can decide if you are attaching your calendar to a set of automations. Good example is your discovery call. If someone comes to your landing page, they fill out a form, their travel request form. So here you could actually select the form that works specifically to this calendar. So if it's the vacation request form, that will offset the trigger for this calendar. When I'm the client and I'm looking at it, am I allowed to add another guest to attend the onboarding? I mean, not the onboarding, but the discovery call with me? And if so, am I going to, supply their name and email? That's what this toggle switch is saying. Then we do have a default message. If you use redirect email, which is what I do, you can redirect this to an actual thank you page, like a landing page, versus a message here. The messages here, you can say a few things, but it's not for a big conversation to confirm their appointment. If you're looking for something a little bit more snazzy, a little bit more razzle to your dazzle, then I would suggest using an email template and using the redirect URL feature so that it is going to say the thank you page that you may have within inside your landing page settings. And that's what I do as well in my discovery call process. So I'm going to leave this on default for right now, just so that we can hit save. Okay, let's see. Now, your acknowledgement email. This comes in only, this is where your confirmation email is. This is saying you're going to use the system standard email to acknowledge your client and letting them know that their appointment request has been received and or confirmed. If you select any of these boxes here, this means that you are opting to use this auto standard email. So if it's the contact themselves, the guest that they've invited, you are the assigned user. So you would get another email notification for this, or any, say, outside alert email address. This is a good opportunity for you to put, say, your VA's email in here. If your VA is keeping up with your calendar or any events that you're doing, put their email here and they'll get a copy of whoever is going to be on your particular meeting as well. But what I like to do is to see a more snazzy email. So I use the automation email instead of here, but you can add this as well. So we click save, and then we're going to go to the customizations, which is basically, do you have any additional notes that you want them to receive when they get that message? And which version do you want the calendar to kind of show up in? Is a classic view, allow staff selection during the booking process. This is for if you have multiple ICs and you want them to say, hey, I'm working with Side A versus I'm working with Jane, and you want them to pick, then you would need this toggle switch on. Okay, so this is all a part of the automated process for your calendar creation. Do we have any questions before we move on from the automated version of this, of calendar creation? And what I'll do too is, let me grab another window here so that you guys can see what it kind of looks like on the front end. If you have been in our demos, you will have already had like a little sneak peek to how we like to show up in our discovery calls. But I just want to make sure that everyone is getting a chance to kind of see what that looks like, because it's very important to see how things work and flow from the client's perspective as well. Let me just grab a couple of more windows. Okay, so number, we were saying about automating your calendar process. When you automate your calendar process, we're looking at, how do clients first meet you? Everyone should have some type of form on their website or form in a landing page aspect. We have built that out for you. So in terms of client facing, you have a welcome message. It can be video based, it can be word based, letting them know who you are, what your process is, and maybe showcasing a couple of examples of past quotes you have done, and a call to action to get their quote with you. Yes, that's right. This setup will allow you to set things up once you have key people scheduled when you need them. Absolutely. So once they click the Get My Quote button, it will take them to your travel request form. They're going to fill out the form and hit submit. After they hit submit, it is going to take them to your calendar, the calendar that is specified for your discovery call based on the availability that you have created. So they come here, they select their time, their date, and hit continue. And in our background that we have pre-designed for you, it will trigger other automations and confirmations for your clients along the way. In addition to that, at the end of them submitting this, because they don't see the triggering in the back, right? It will take them to a thank you page. And the thank you page, again, you can do it by video or by text. I like to use videos. I like mixed media because that's just me, but put a little razzle dazzle to your process And this is all built out for you within the Compass system. So you'll get access to this layout. You'll remove my video link, put your video link in, come down here, it says join me, and insert your YouTube channel or your Facebook group, and get your clients, activated in your communities. That's essentially what we want, is to lead, capture, and engage with your clients. So, Miss Gina, you had a question about manually scheduling these appointments. The best way to manually schedule an appointment is directly from the client's record. I say that because it's my preference, but you can come here, hit my calendars, and select the calendar that you're looking to make an appointment for, and then also hit the book appointment button here. I personally like to do it from the client record. And the reason why I do it there is because in the client record, it allows me more control. And also, if I need any other information or need to take a note, it's all in one place for me. And I also like to keep a record of everything that we've talked about. So, what better place to put your activity, your task, your notes, and your appointments? When you're looking at this, let me make sure we're still live here. Okay, see you later. It says you have to pick up your kids. This will still be here. So if you want to catch us next time or use the link to the new member checklist, this will all be on there. But yes, so when you're here in this contact record, you'll notice on the right-hand side that we have an activities tab that is tracking where your client has been. As you can see, I've got a little icon here for a calendar because I was on your booking appointment page. I submitted a form, and after the form, I got a letter to say thank you. I went to the next page. That's basically telling you that I've been tracked throughout your system. If I want to say we're having this discovery call, or you called me, said, hey, I want to get a quote, can you help me? I can create a task here to say, hey, follow up with Jane in the next 2 days about her trip. More importantly, I just have to click one more time and I can put in all my notes that I want about our phone conversation today. And then when you say, hey, I'd like to make an appointment, and I'm like, great, let me check my calendar, click my appointment. Sorry, this side of my screen is just doing it to me. And hit add. Well, as you can see, I have my confirmed discovery call from the form that I just did, but click add here. And then now your appointment calendar, your booking arrangements are here, and you can come in here and manually book your call with your client. So yes, you can do it both ways, Gina. I hope that this has been helpful for you guys. And this is where we have about the Zoom integration and your calendar integration. This was pretty quick. We just did this all in like 30 minutes. I'm excited. So I'm going to open this up for any questions that anyone may have. Let's see. I got a few comments. Let me go back through the comments real quick and make sure I didn't miss anybody. Nope. Okay. No. Oh, sorry. I'm reading from the bottom. I need to be reading from the top. Those are the newer ones. Okay, I think we're all caught up on questions. I'm going to pause a little bit because I don't know if there's like a delay between me saying anything and you guys actually getting it on the live. But if you have any questions, this is our time segment for any questions in regards to connecting your email. Oh, we can go over that too. You're connecting your email, but connecting your calendars and your Zoom connection if you are using Zoom. If you're not using Zoom, but you're using something else, in that same meeting location area, you can always put whatever your meeting hyperlink is there, and it will auto-populate into the emails and the sequences that we have in place for you. That is true, Sunday. If it's not in the calendar, it doesn't happen. So we want to make sure that you guys are maximizing this. This is my test account. So I play around with a lot of things, but I definitely have more than 5 calendars. And they definitely all talk back to my master calendar within Gmail and Zoho because I don't know why, but I'm a crazy lady that has calendars all over the place. So it's very important for me that I'm not missing an opportunity there. I'm going to back up a little bit and meet you guys or take you guys to the email area under email services. When you first get set up, you're going to be on the email.compasstraveltech.com email provider. It's very important for you, and I say this from a email deliverability rate, that you click add service and go through the steps of connecting your own subdomain to whatever your domain may be. So if you are Jane's Travel Services, that's my favorite example. You want to be email.janetravelservices.com. And you do that because once you start connecting your email and sending out email, if you are still using our setup email, this is what everyone is using when they first get started. So from an email deliverability rate, you want to make sure that you're changing your own. If you're using GoDaddy, Cloudflare, and a few others, not WordPress, but I'm sorry, not HostGator, but if you're using like GoDaddy or something like that, it will take you through an auto connection. But if you are not and you are using something like WordPress, don't fear. You just have a couple of extra steps for the manual connection. You will need to go to your email service provider and ask them for the SMTP service information. So that way you can connect your domain via CNAME or A records. Yes, the Tuesday calls are recorded here, so it'll live here inside the group for you. And the new member checklist, I actually dropped it in the Facebook group comment section of this live. So if you want to, Kelly, that is you, Kelly. But if you scroll down a little bit, it'll be there. And I can share it again just so that it's at the top. Or oh, never mind. Sunday beat me to it. So you guys want to make sure that you are definitely protecting your email deliverability rate, bringing in your email address so that you can email from the system, and 2, that you are also connecting your calendars and making sure that you have a separate calendar, say for your agent training compared to your discovery calls. And let me make sure this is everything. All right, those are all the questions that I see. Oh yes, Kelly, I forgot today is Tuesday and that is your bowling night. Well, I do appreciate everybody from stopping by today, and I look forward to seeing you guys in our live onboarding starting September 11th. But in the meantime, that new member checklist, that is the list that you will need to use to guide you so that when September 11th comes, you are ready to go, because we are going to be running. We are going to be making sure that you have the connections that you need. But these are the connections you need to do beforehand, before you get to September 11th. So if you have not done them, come September 11th, we don't want to see in the chat, hey, can you go back? Because you guys got a whole week to get your emails and your calendars and all that good stuff created in there. We will be uploading some amazing things into your account so you guys are nice and ready when we come back on September 11th. And I appreciate your time, guys. Thank you so much.